Right now, as you watch this video, you might be thinking with someone else's mind. What if I told you that the most successful prison ever built wasn't made of bars and walls? It was made of ideas, and millions of people are still trapped inside it. This is the story of how an entire system of thought colonized human minds, and why one man's discovery about this psychological prison could change how you see yourself forever. 1952, a young psychiatrist from Martinique walks into a hospital in Algeria and notices something disturbing. His patients, colonized people, are describing the same psychological symptoms. They hate their own skin. They reject their culture. They worship their oppressors. But here's the shocking part. This isn't mental illness. It's the intended result of a system. Fanon realized he wasn't just treating individuals. He was documenting a crime against human consciousness itself. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that everything you believe about success, beauty, intelligence, and worth was programmed into you by someone who profits from your self-doubt. That's what Fanon discovered colonialism really was. Not just stealing land, but stealing minds. He called it internalized inferiority. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Picture this. You live in a world deliberately designed to make you feel inferior. On one side, there's a civilized world, clean, orderly, successful. On the other side, there's your world portrayed as chaotic, backward, dangerous. But here's the psychological trap. You're taught to see this division as natural, even fair. Fanon discovered that colonialism's greatest trick wasn't convincing people they were inferior. It was convincing them they deserved to be. What's your first instinct when you want to feel successful? When you want to feel beautiful? When you want to feel smart? Fanon realized that colonized people were programmed to associate all positive traits with their oppressor's culture. They were taught to see themselves as the problem. The most devastating part, the colonized begin to police themselves and each other, becoming their own prison guards. Here's where Fanon said something that shocked the world. Violence is a cleansing force. Wait before you judge, understand what he meant. When someone has been psychologically programmed to see themselves as subhuman, breaking that programming requires breaking the system that created it. Fanon wasn't advocating mindless violence. He was asking, what does it take to break a psychological prison? Think colonialism ended decades ago. Look around. The flags changed, but the mental programming didn't. Why do you think certain accents sound educated? Why do certain features define beauty? Why do certain histories get taught while others are forgotten? Fanon's most terrifying insight. Most people never realize they're in prison because the bars are made of thoughts, not steel. But here's the hope Fanon offered. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Once you recognize the programming, you can begin to deprogram yourself. This isn't about hatred. It's about reclaiming your right to define yourself. Decolonization isn't just political. It's personal. It's the moment you stop seeing yourself through someone else's eyes. So here's Fanon's challenge to you. Look in the mirror. Who taught you what you see? Your worth, your potential, your place in the world. How much of that is really yours, and how much was installed by systems designed to keep you contained? The most radical act might not be revolution. It might be the simple decision to see yourself clearly. Fanon believed that true decolonization creates new humans, people who define themselves rather than being defined by others. The question isn't whether you've been colonized. The question is, are you ready to be free? The mind is the final frontier of freedom. What will you choose to see when you look in the mirror tomorrow?